It is the RIOT podcast. Hudson and Nikki here with you.
Welcome to your Thursday edition, or no pressure whenever you're listening to it.
Yeah, you can listen to this any day of the week you
I know
want.
a lot of people actually listen the following day, but you're welcome to listen to it the day it comes out, or you can mark it for later, or whenever it works.
It's weird how when we are picking stuff to talk about for the show, it always feels like it has to be so current, like what's happened in the past 24 hours or even less than that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, so many people are just listening like days
want.
behind.
And I always feel bad, too, because sometimes things can really change from like when we talk about some things.
Well, I don't know if it's in the podcast, but the chicken nugget that when we found the story,
the Among Us chicken nugget
was selling for $40,000, and by the time we actually talked about it, it was up to $99,000.
So we'll find out when you're listening to this. Maybe hop over to eBay and see what it ended. But more importantly, when you hear about the chicken nugget, did someone actually end up paying for it, or how did that work out?
We'll have to do a follow up on that, but I feel that the answer is going to be no.
I feel that way too.
The other stuff that's in the podcast today, we talk about sending Nikki to Venus.
Okay.
And the streaming service that goes with that.
That's my favorite part. That's my absolute favorite part.
We also talk about going to Disney World and our life hacks of how you can get free stuff when you're there.
You can send me to Disney World before I go to space.
There you go. And that'll be your one last trip. Let's see. What else got... Okay. This was the one that really frustrated me. The story about teaching people to echolocate.
Yeah.
Because there's this whole long story about this whole study that researchers in the UK did, and all we wanted to know is how did they train these people to echolocate?
And they don't cover it.
And it never says how. It just says that they did and it worked. And it's like, but how?
Well, I know
what did you inject them with bat serum? What have you done?
Well, a few listeners texted in after to kind of explain it, but not in a way where I feel like I should go ahead and explain it now.
You know what I want is a video.
A video
Let's
of it,
have a video of the training.
I bet it's on YouTube, including there was this one YouTube channel, and he solely works on echo training for people with, if you're blind or just have difficulty or seeing, maybe not completely blind, but he works with training people how to echolocate.
Now, it would be cool if they could get that to where you could do it while you were driving.
Baby steps, baby steps.
We're a ways away from that one.
Maybe
the self-driving cars will come first.
I don't know.
Well, that's all in the podcast, but there's no answer for you for the question we are looking for. We talk about haunted dolls and, also, the list of people that aren't supposed to eat cicadas, and surprisingly, the list isn't everybody.
But there is some cicada news, and as their population grows and how you're finding them and seeing them,
and your temptation to eat them grows, perhaps.
It just seems like this is the time where you're fighting it. But if you have any allergies, you'll want to pay attention and listen through that part of this show.
I hope if you have allergies, maybe you're just watching out anyways, like you didn't need the FDA to remind you.
Maybe like the cicada noise it makes, it's like the sirens call. And you just hear like the wings and the crunch. Yeah, the crunch of their bodies. It is kind of
hypnotizing. Well, that's all in the podcast, so listen
enjoy the
on
podcast.
And enjoy, and
make sure you text and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U, or join us at RadioU Riot. You should be following us on Facebook. We'll do a food fight tomorrow in the podcast, and then we've got Death Therapy joining us next week. So in order to kind of make sure you don't miss anything, follow us there.
And if you're the type of person that's listening behind by a day or whatever, tomorrow's National Donut Day on the day that we're recording this. So we're going to be talking about that in the next podcast, but that's a warning for you if you're not on the same schedule as we are.
That's right. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
I found, Nikki, that you're a bad influence. I don't know if this is going to work out.
What do you mean?
You know what I did yesterday after the show?
What'd you do?
I took some of that cake and put it in my coffee, or vice versa, however you want to see it.
Whichever way you want to say you did. Either you poured coffee over cake or you put cake into coffee.
And every bite was a new adventure of... Do I like this or do I feel bad about this?
Did you put icing in it too? Was it like enough icing and cake for the ratio?
The icing was the best part when you could taste that in the coffee.
Especially when it melts down. Yesterday, we have a cake. We don't
anymore.
We don't anymore. I know, I noticed. How's it going?
I had one
bite?
It was a piece. It was a small piece.
Where's this
It was small
cake
enough
going?
to fit in a coffee cup. And the cake has been there for 2 days. It's gone.
Yeah.
48 hours,
That's
and the
all it
cake is polished off.
Well, the cake, I heard Chris, he put cake in his coffee too yesterday.
It was a whole trend.
And then Michael said that he had some, so I feel like everybody really got into it yesterday.
We all got some. Somebody got a lot more than others.
But
and now it's gone.
But
that's okay, because that's a bad influence. I don't need that.
Why? You can want it.
It wasn't good enough to be worth the
trouble.
The trouble
the
and
body
the guilt. Yeah, the guilt that it brought on.
Man, when I put a little coffee and cake, we had the coffee, and I put a little of the Italian sweet cream creamer.
Yeah,
and it was just unforgettable.
Yeah.
Like the little sip of coffee I have now, which just only has creamer.
Yeah, it's just not the same, right?
It's so not sweet enough. So I don't know what to do.
I feel that it was, although the icing, when I could taste the icing, was the best part.
Oh, it was.
The sweet cream, I did put a splash in there.
Just a splash.
And like everything else, I just felt, this is too much. I just liked, maybe I should just put a little dollop of icing in my coffee every once in a while.
Well, if anybody.
But the cake was too much.
If we end up bringing just a little tub of icing, no one judge. We can it'll be a community one.
Why is that tub of icing in the coffee cupboard? Why is that among, there's the creamer and there's the little packets of sugar and stuff, and then the icing. What's that doing there?
Dude, if anybody comes in and judges us, you just tell them to just be quiet, to not, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know how good it is.
This is how we cope.
I know. This is what we do, and it could be way worse.
It could be. Yes.
You know the stuff you can find at radio stations across this country?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And ours?
I've seen the stories. I've seen it play out.
The worst could be a tub of icing.
A tub of the coffee icing tub.
Well, whoever had the last of it, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you yesterday. And maybe we could really seriously talk about a weekly cake. Doesn't have to be expensive. It could be like the leftover Monday cake from the weekend that they don't sell at the bakery.
There we go.
That way we could really look into that.
It's being economical.
Yeah.
It's being earth conscious because we're not wasting.
I'll have to text you on a Sunday night. Be like, Hudson, it's your turn to get the cake tomorrow. Could you please get something?
I just go on Sunday night and stand outside the bakery.
Wait.
You're not throwing that out, are you?
Well, I'll take it if you're just throwing it out.
We need it.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
If you had to pick, Nikki, a space mission where we should go, where do you think it should be?
Where you're really just going to the curvature of the Earth and then back down.
Oh, that's it?
Really right on out and right back down.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to really go explore space.
No, you don't want to go and explore space. But what if you were picking what we should do as a country? If you're in charge of NASA.
No, I think that's good to start small. I think it is. Because I don't want them to be like, well, Nikki, you're here.
So you think there's
get on in there.
You think there's you don't want to get too ambitious with your first space mission?
I don't. I like to plan. I'm a realist.
Yeah.
So I really like to just lower it to whatever's the smallest, easiest option.
Well, NASA's all about shooting for the stars. I guess
they need to.
Maybe. I don't know that they go to the stars, but they do want to go to Venus. And not once, but twice in the next 7 years or so.
I feel like I've just been only hearing Mars for so long.
It's always Mars, isn't it? And then I think they mentioned they wanted to go to the moon again. But now we've got 2 missions. They're going to be the Veritas mission and Da Vinci Plus, and they're going to be
streaming as well.
That's right.
Streaming all
You'll
your space
be able to watch
stuff.
that online. $5.99 a month. You can just
now that is ad supported, Hudson.
Ad supported.
So it'll be $9 if you don't want any of the commercials.
Yeah, well, they have to get their revenue somewhere if they're going to be sending a whole mission to Venus. Now, these aren't going to be manned, of course, because I don't think you can send people to Venus. I really don't think we're confident that we could do that. But they're going to be exploring, and it's the first time. I didn't know that. I guess I just don't understand all of how it all works, because we went in 1989, but I guess you sent maybe other kind of probes to Venus.
Rovers, does that work?
Right. Yeah, but I don't know what the distinction is between we've sent other stuff around Venus or whatever, because I definitely remember something burning up in Venus. It went to Venus and it like you sent some stuff back and then it burned up. I really think I remember that.
They say,
and that wasn't in 1989. I wasn't alive.
They say, I'm not saying we'll be flying a helicopter on Venus soon, but we're poised to make a huge advance in our understanding of the second planets.
Ooh.
Wow. Oh, do you see the meme? It's the old meme of like the guy and the girl, and the guy turns and looks around like back at the girl that's walking by, and she's Venus and he's holding hands with Mars.
Yeah.
So he's like going to cheat.
Mars has the disgraced, disgusted look on her face.
This is down the road. They say Veritas will likely launch first to Venus around 2028.
Yep.
And it's going to fully map the surface. And then the other one will be at a future proposed date. Way past
It's an upgrade, and it's going to take photos of the planet's strange volcanic ridges.
Wow.
Ooh, can't wait to see those.
You know, I'm really happy to be here with you, Hudson, but if only that job worked out at NASA.
Yeah.
Could have really had a good time.
Well, do you even have to be the director? You could just be...
I would have taken anything.
You take anything there so that you can just be a part of the mission, be a part of the magic.
If I was at NASA, they'd be like, could you have a better attitude?
You're seeing
really good
all these
most of the time.
These pictures, the majesty of the cosmos, and you're just like,
oh my gosh,
do we have to do this again? And you're, begrudgingly driving into work every day.
I would have been like, we had to put the plus on the thing, guys.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on RadioU.
Got a little life hack here for you.
I saw this on TikTok when it first trended. I did.
And now, wait, you're already in on this then.
Well, I'm
You're
curious.
already planning your trip to Disney World?
Well, you need every help when you get there because it's so expensive.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
But I assume this is long gone on like, can you actually get the free shirt of people trying it?
Oh, yeah. Once one person does it and posts it and it blows up. Well, this woman... Her name is Amanda DeMio. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong.
I think that's it.
What she did was she intentionally, she posted this as a TikTok life hack. She says, go to Disney World, right? Everything there is so expensive. You don't want to have to buy a shirt.
Who can?
To make a memory that way. The memory of the time you spent $75 on a hoodie or something.
Just like you're shocked at the ticket price, you'll also be shocked at the price of the merchandise.
Everything inside.
It's shocking.
The walls and a lot of the stuff outside of the walls nearby. But she did... was she intentionally violated the Disney dress code because you have to at least cover up so much when you're at Disney World. So she's like, I'll just wear something that's just slightly under what they would consider acceptable. And then they will give you a shirt so that you can comply.
Well, they give you a voucher and then you can go and get any shirt of your choice.
Right.
And those are expensive.
They are. And so the one she got was $75.
And you get a free one.
Yeah, and it's just free and because you're not following the rules.
I know, but what are they going to do? They didn't turn her away.
Yeah.
So instead, you just have to go put something else on. So her crop top was a little too cropped, they said, for Disney. And that's when they give her the ticket. And then you go to the gift shop, you put the new shirt on, you're done.
Yeah, so that's an idea for you, but like Nikki said, it very well may be that everybody's gone into Disney World and tried this, and so now Disney has already come up with some corporate policy to knock this down.
They see you right. If you've ever been to Disney, like there's the holding areas and like the walkthrough areas before you get to security. Yeah. And then the ticket part. And then everybody out there is like, here, give me scissors. Let me cut up enough of my shirt so I can get in there and get a new one.
Yeah. So I was thinking that this may work for some certain people. Yeah. But I don't know if it will work for everybody. Like, I feel that it will work better for women. Yes. Than maybe, like, if I walked in there and like, my shorts Hudson. Weren't, like, covering quite enough. Sure. It's not like, here, Hudson, have a pair of these shorts with Walt Disney on them. I don't think they would do that.
I don't know. I mean, I think the shirt is the easiest thing, but I feel like they're going to be on to everybody who's doing this. And they say, if not, you can try it if you just want to get a free shirt.
Yeah, I don't know. You're taking a risk there because I expect to just be shown the door.
Well, that annoys me too because then you're like, well, gee, I also wonder why the shirts are so expensive because they're giving away to the people.
Yeah, that's right. That's part of why.
What you need to do is another TikTok trend was if you go to Disney a lot or like any theme parks, if you go look around outside far enough away, there'll be outlets for them where they sell a lot of their merchandise that just hasn't sold as well in the park. So you can totally get a lot cheaper things. Just don't ever buy in the park.
Right. And you might even find, like, who knows? You could find some limited edition stuff that they didn't sell, people didn't want, and now all of a sudden you've got it, and maybe that's one day an eBay collector's item. I don't feel so bad though if people do take advantage of this, because it is so expensive. Like once you spend the $500 to get in, and how much you have to spend to stay at a resort and get the park hopper, and all this stuff, you take a $75 bite out of Disney. Who can really feel so bad about it?
I feel like if this became too much of a trend, they would have just a generic, very inexpensive shirt. That was the only option that you could get with it.
It's just a plain black shirt.
And there's just nothing
still,
on
that could be a collector's item, because the only way you can get it is by violating the dress code.
The Riot has now been downloaded. Hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Are Cheetos technically chips? They're in the chip aisle.
I think so. I mean, to me, I like a Cheeto more than I would like a chip.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'll put it in that grouping.
What if it was a Mexican street corn Cheeto? Does that appeal to you?
I wonder how that comes across. Have you had Mexican street corn?
No, I don't even know exactly what it is.
So it's basically,
from what I gather on the bag, there's a lime involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of lime. So basically, it's like grilled corn, and then they add. The problem I have is it's mayonnaise and crema.
Ooh, what's crema?
It's like a sour cream.
Oh, okay.
You can use sour cream with it.
Interesting combo.
I don't like anything with mayonnaise. Mayonnaise just really weirds me out.
That's where you and I are different.
Well, you can have all my mayonnaise from that. But basically,
it's a mayonnaise donut.
Then you really got the filling wrong if you find that. But it's basically slathered over the corn, and then they use garlic, peppers, and then like a lot of limes and lime zest, and then cajita cheese, which you can also use Parmesan cheese. But they say that's only if you cannot find the other.
Oh, okay. That's a not good enough substitute.
So it's really good, but I just can't get over the mayonnaise stuff with it.
It sounds like a lot to me, although I'd be interested to try it. I'm a big corn on the cob fan.
You'd love it then.
Okay.
You'd love it.
Well, then maybe this could be good. It's now, according to the Cheeto bag, it says it's tangy, spicy, and cheesy.
Well, Julia says her fiance loves it. So if you guys all find it, let us know where it's at, because it's I can't tell if it's a limited flavor. Yeah. If not, it might be one they're sticking with for a while. But the Cheetos Mexican street corn is out there.
It doesn't say limited edition. According to the story, this is already, you can find it in stores if you're lucky. This photo was taken at a 7-Eleven, which we don't have.
I like people's response. They're like, they get bonus points for not making it flaming, scorching, or screaming. And then someone else is like, Mexican street corn shouldn't taste as good as it does. Wow. I mean, just based on the ingredients together, but it works.
I'm surprised that we have hate for the flamin', scorching, or what was the other thing?
The screamin'.
Screamin'?
Well, remember, if someone made the time to comment about the article online, it's probably because they don't like something.
They really don't like it. But I always feel that the flamin' Cheetos, those are that's like a cult following that those have.
It is, but it was a trend for a while just to make things as hot as possible. Yeah. And that's where the screaming part comes in.
Right.
So it feels like with Cheetos and just other things, it was just a heat thing. Now they're just branching out to different flavors.
Giving it different flavor without making it so unnecessarily hot.
So if you find the Mexican street corn Cheetos, let us know.
Yeah.
Hudson, we always tell people, you don't feel the need to get them for us. Nope. But if you tell them, tell us where they're at. And if you hide them behind something, and just tell us where it's located in the store.
Yep.
The Riot RadioU.
The guy's name is Ben, I believe, and he commented. I did the RadioU This Week video.
Yeah.
Where I said, I just give an update for the week. I said that I'm on the Riot now and stuff like that. The update. You can go watch the video if you want to see all the whole 40 seconds. Yeah. But Ben commented and he said, does Hudson have a Kentucky Waterfall?
So is that like a mullet?
Yeah, I had to look it up, and Like that's seems to be a specific term because even Google doesn't really bring up the hairstyle first.
Oh, just to show you
it's
waterfalls.
More about waterfalls in Kentucky.
Yeah, look that one through. You're like, are you insulting me?
But then I did eventually come to the conclusion that, he was talking about my hair.
It just means it's getting a little longer in the back.
Yeah, but I guess it threw me for a loop. Because
do you not see your hair getting longer in the back?
No, I know my hair's long, but that's like it's a mullet business up front, party in the back, but mine is all long.
Well, your hair
is long at the top. I guess you just never see me. Like, look, Nikki, maybe you've never seen this. Let me take off my hat. Have you ever seen me without a hat?
Oh my gosh, it's so long.
It's long everywhere.
Well, then why don't you next time don't wear your hat?
I like the hat.
Well, you need to send a picture to the guy and be like, listen, this isn't a Kentucky Waterfall.
No, it's not.
This is Niagara.
I do kind of feel like that's a derogatory term for it, like it does feel like
Kentucky's like, why, guys?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, all the pictures that once you did find the Kentucky Waterfall hairstyle, maybe this is me judging, but they weren't exactly so flattering.
Is it bad?
It was pretty bad. I think there's a level of if you have a mullet, and then I feel that the Kentucky Waterfall is kind of another step down.
Oh, it's another level down.
Yeah.
Aww.
But you know what's funny though, out of all of this? I don't want to have a mullet. I really don't.
But you have really long hair.
It's pretty long.
It is.
Actually, I keep, like the last time I got a haircut, which I don't do so often, I got it cut a lot shorter. Because if you look back at some of the old videos, you can see of me, it's past my shoulders.
It's way grown out.
But I didn't go for a long time, partially because of the virus and partially just because I didn't want to. I don't like getting my hair cut. But now I want to cut it even shorter than this. And it's not, I wanted to get it cut shorter before
Ben's comment.
Yeah, but now I really want to get it cut shorter.
You should totally not wear your hat. Like guys want long hair like that all the time.
People tell me that, but I just, the real reason, I've worn a hat like almost all the time since I was very young. And
is it comforting?
I don't know. I just feel like it's part of me. It's a part of my style.
It's your look, yeah.
It's my look, and I don't like the idea. I've never liked the idea because I don't like going to get a haircut because that's too much work. And I don't, but then your hair gets long and I don't want to have to deal with like styling long hair. So you just wear a hat.
Why didn't you get into the man bun sort of ponytail thing?
That's not me. You think that's me?
I think you could totally pull it off.
You think I could pull it? It doesn't go with the rest of my style. And that's a whole different.
It doesn't need to.
It's a whole different, set of terms that come with that
then
that
Ben
are different than the Kentucky Waterfall. Right. They're going to say, is that how it's doing with a man bun? But they'd find some other meaner way to put it.
Some man bun term that we don't know.
Yeah. Some more specific and more derogatory.
I feel like you can do that if you wanted to. Like you could totally pull it off. Your hair is super long.
I think I do believe
you've hidden this whole top part of your head for so long. Even I had no idea.
I know. I've had a few instances where people like at work or just that haven't seen me without my hat on. Very rarely they'll be like, why don't you not wear a hat because your hair is so long? If I had long hair like that, I'd be rocking it. It's like, yeah, but you don't understand. If you had long hair like this, you'd have to do something with it.
I'm surprised
because
it's so long that you would just chop it if you hated it so much.
But then I have to go to the thing that I really am worried about is that I kind of just want to cut hair myself, but I'm worried that look even worse.
Well, just shave it then.
All of my hair, anything I do with my hair is just, it's not done to make it look good. It's done out of fear of it looking bad. Is what I think.
With a healthy dose of laziness with it.
Yes, exactly. And that's almost all of my appearance all the time.
Ben, thanks for the Kentucky Waterfall comment towards his hair.
And maybe another day we can get into the idea that my dad had a mullet. Like a real mullet.
Oh, okay.
But we don't have time for that now. But that's a future discussion.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, the headline says researchers have successfully trained people to echolocate in just 10 weeks. And I don't know about you, but the first thing I think of is with bats, they echolocate, right?
They do.
So it's just like, Are the researchers just like getting people in a dark room and like, all right, go and just listen really closely?
I don't think that's it. But
I don't think so either.
It's basically bats and whales.
Yeah, the whales. So maybe there's like, ooh.
And I just wanted to hear you make a whale noise.
You set me up for it.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a team whale player.
But I am curious to know more about this because it sounds like a scam, doesn't it? Like we can teach you to echolocate in just 10 weeks, and it's like something you would see on an old commercial from the 70s or something, where or on the back of a comic book.
It does
where you
seem
send it in, you get your X-ray goggles.
It's a real thing, though. Like they said, they recruited 14 sighted people and 12 people who became blind early on in life for this experiment. They said it was 20 training sessions conducted over 10 weeks, and you were between 21 and 79, and you've never done anything with echolocation before. Because sometimes if you're maybe blind, you could have some experience with it, but everybody else did not. And they enlisted the help to practice echolocation to help someone be able to maneuver and move around better in a more safer way.
I keep scrolling down the story for them to...
There's a lot.
Yeah, it's so long, and I'm looking for the paragraph of...
What they did?
What did they do? How did you train the people? Maybe they can't give away their secrets, because then everybody would just train themselves to echolocate, which does seem like that would be very helpful.
They said that the blind volunteers were surveyed for 3 months with the training and to see how it affected their lives. They reported experiencing improvements in their mobility as a result from the training. 83% reported feeling more independent, which is, what they were working towards.
So it definitely sounds like that it was an improvement, especially for those who were blind.
But you're right. No one's saying what they did.
What did they do to train these people? But
I don't know.
I really want to know because I do want to learn. I think obviously it would be very helpful if you were blind to be able to really excellently echolocate. But even if you can see normally, it would be helpful if you're going to the bathroom in the dark. You just, again, I just keep picturing you're like, make a bat noise.
The whale. There it is. They said that the tests involved situations like being able to recognize the relative location and size of a nearby object, or navigate through a natural environment outside of like a lab without sight. So you're right. Say it was dark in your house or something, be able to navigate that way. These improvements didn't seem to be influenced by the age or the degree of blindness someone might have.
Anyone can do it. Anyone can echolocate.
So I think there's more to this, and they're just not putting it in the story.
I know. I just keep reading, and I keep getting more details that aren't the details that I care about. Yes, it helped people. Obviously, it would be helpful if you could essentially see when you can't see.
Yeah.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
What is this with this haunted...
With the doll?
This haunted doll?
So I think, is this Australia? This feels Australia.
North Queensland or Queensland. They're
saying that in this small town, this area, that there's pictures of a doll that's kind of like placed on a swing in the outer areas where
it is creepy.
Where the woods are. And people in the town are really talking about the spooky problems that have happened to those that get too close to the doll.
So spooky. It says the doll has been blamed for incidents such as boat motor troubles
and
lost fishing gear.
I don't want to tell them that doesn't seem bad at all.
That doesn't really seem haunted. That's just like...
I was afraid to be like, this person died. Right. This person's been cursed and all this stuff.
They went and saw the doll and then they got super sick later.
Maybe they don't know what real problems are.
Right. Those are just things that happen when you fish, I think.
And boating, yeah.
Right. Maybe it's the boat or the lake itself that's the bad luck. You go on the lake and all of a sudden you're losing your fishing gear.
Well, some people say that this doll that's been placed on this swing and just, out there in the woods, that it was made from, the doll was made just to kind of brighten things up from a local person in the community.
Oh, it's brightening. How can you see that doll and not have your day brightened?
And then it just kind of developed this spooky thing around it because of its location and just being out there. And oh my gosh, the population of the town is only 406 people.
I was going to say, I think that it feels like this is a town that's from a different century.
Oh, yes.
Like this is a story that would be a wives' tale when the people would tell the the farm hands would tell while they're watching the cattle out on the prairies or whatever.
My school would have a larger class than that. And this is their whole town. But
I guess there's not, when you're a town of 406, there's not a lot going on. You got to find something to talk about.
This is it. So it's the spooky doll, and there's just pictures of the doll. They say that no one really wants to talk about it in the town, but we're not in the town, so we have no problem talking about it.
Somehow it made it all the way to the news on a big national publication. So somebody was talking. Somebody went and blabbed.
Well, everybody in the comment section was like, first, that doesn't seem like big problems enough. From all the movies we've seen and the podcasts and the shows of all these haunted, like sort of scary things.
Can you...
This is nothing.
Imagine the movie coming to theaters near you, and it's just called The Doll.
Well,
and it's it's all the frightening images of people getting close to the doll, and then the payoff of the movie is, and then they lost their fishing gear. It
needs to be the boat doesn't start, and like 4 out of the 5 group members disappeared forever.
Right, and but that's not the case. And then the doll comes to life and starts like attacking people or something, and you see it hanging on a different tree, different locations and stuff.
They're saying that it's a local mystery, and they don't want people to find out, all 400 members of the town, because again, this is a very small town. But then everybody else was just saying, like, just go take the doll down.
You think out of the 400, one of them would just get tired of hearing this and just go and like knock it off.
How about this? You go get the doll if you don't fish, because if you don't fish, you don't have a boat.
Right,
probably.
You got nothing to worry about.
You got nothing
What's
to worry about.
We would say rate and review the podcast. But let's be honest, that would probably hurt more than hell. The worst of the Riot podcast.
We've been seeing for weeks and weeks and weeks. Look at all the fun things you can do when you eat cicadas. You can make them into tacos. You can deep fry them. You can just pull off their legs and wings and think of or if you're just a little squeamish about it, you just crush them up, put them in your cookies. You won't even know. And it's an excellent source of protein.
Man, it's getting weird because you're starting to see like more, and it depends on what area you're at.
Yeah.
Eric took our dogs to the dog park the other day, and he took some pictures of like the holes in the ground. From where they came out, and all the shells everywhere, and I'm like, where are these bugs at? Like, what's going on? And I told him, like, please don't let our dogs eat the cicadas. And thankfully they weren't interested. But there's an abundance, and for some, they're like, they're totally in on the trying to eat a cicada while they're here.
I saw there was a restaurant in Virginia where they were selling the cicada tacos, and it kind of made me mad because the guy is just at the restaurant. He's just scooping them up off of the street and taking off the legs and wings, and then he'll put cook them up and put them in the tacos. Like, you're getting this food for free. You're getting it from just outside on the street
and charging.
You can't do that with other foods.
That was like,
you can't just pick a chicken out of somebody's farm.
We had this restaurant down the road from the station that got in trouble because they were going out and they were on like the lake that was up there.
Yeah.
And they were just catching fish there.
Oh, no.
Right outside the restaurant and selling it like it was fish from somewhere else. And people were like, well, wait, it's just right there. Like, I don't think we're supposed to eat that one.
Is that the lake that always has like the E. coli?
Yes.
The algae blooms and
all the fun stuff.
Oh, yes. I'm sure that fish was totally FDA approved. Well, speaking of the FDA.
Same thing with cicadas. Like, I don't know if a restaurant could sell it, but they're there.
They're
they
trying.
Have warnings.
Whether they should is not the issue. It's whether they are trying, and they definitely are. But the FDA has come out and said they're not saying that everyone needs to stop eating cicadas, but they say don't eat cicadas if you have a seafood allergy, because insects and cicadas are very closely related to shrimp and lobsters. So you're taking a risk there if you are tempted to eat a cicada, even though you're not allowed to eat shrimp.
I don't even try it, too, because like with seafood, even if I know people who can eat fish, but they can't have like shrimp.
Right.
So like these are like the lobsters with wings. So like don't eat these things. And they say that you just should really shy away no matter what.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you're allergic to seafood, they don't think you should try it.
I wish the FDA could have just put this all to bed. You know,
by saying no?
They didn't have to add on don't eat cicadas, because the tweet is don't eat cicadas if. Well, you don't need the if. Just stop it. If don't eat cicadas, and then we can all put all of this. And it would save them a lot of work because, with that restaurant in Virginia and stuff where the guy just getting off the street, they have to go and, investigate these places and see if they're really keeping it safe with the cicada. No. We don't all have to eat them. It's fine. The
problem is when you tell someone not to do something, then they're like, challenge accepted. Yeah. I'm trying it. And I think that's what we're all doing.
Over TikTok and stuff like that, which it really already is. So
just a reminder, if you look at a cicada, they say if you want to try to eat it, you got to take the wings off. That's on you if you want to try that. But they do say for the FDA that if you have a seafood allergy, especially the shrimp and lobster, which doesn't lobster sound good? I don't care what that is, but I'll take that.
I'll go with the lobster. Or some nice popcorn shrimp.
Don't try it because you just might be allergic to it.
I think we all need to take a second and think, why are we eating something that's been underground for 17 years? Doesn't that, even that's an insect is one thing. It's been underground in the mud
for all
this
those
whole
years.
Time. Who knows what it's absorbing down there?
We're fascinated.
And you're going to eat it. And you're just going to eat it without people. I've seen the TikToks of people just eating them, picking them up, eating them live, not even dead.
I haven't seen that, and I don't want to see it.
I'm going to send it to you.
Thank you.
I will. I have to go find it, but it's out there.
I think you should also be worried because what if then you have to go to the ER or something if you're having a terrible allergic reaction? They're like, well, what'd you eat, Hudson? And then Hudson has to be like, I ate the cicada.
Yeah, that's what it was.
If you've ever asked yourself, just how bad can it get? We've got your answer right here. Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
I don't think this counts as an app. I feel like Little Caesars had stuffed crust pizza before, but maybe it's back now. They're saying for a limited time pizza special.
Ooh, it's a special, a Little Caesars special.
I was telling Hudson the last time I ate Little Caesars, I got sick, like food poisoning. You're like, well, how can you tell it was from that? You could tell. You could absolutely tell it was Little Caesars.
It's worse than just the standard Little Caesars food poisoning. It
stayed with you for a very long time. And I can really pinpoint it right back to that pizza.
Did I tell you that? I know over the weekend, the holiday weekend, I told you I had pizza.
Yeah.
And I had pizza twice in the same weekend.
Did you have Little Caesars?
I had Little Caesars pizza.
Both times or just one?
No, just the one. The other time was actually good, but I did get Little Caesars once. Because I also had to stop in and get Crazy Bread.
Yeah.
Which, so then I was like, I'm already here and I am hungry and the pizza's hot and ready. So
I think that's why they get people because it's not expensive. And everybody that I know that likes Little Caesars, it's more the convenience factor.
It is the convenience.
But I don't know about quality level, where it goes on the hierarchy of pizza.
Now I'm thinking, though, that this is tempting. But the thing is, it's only hot and ready from 4 to 8.
For this one?
For this one only. It's a stuffed crust. You can do cheese or pepperoni, I think. Maybe just only pepperoni. And then...
pepperoni can be made into just cheese. If you just take the pepperoni
you peel it off. But then you're really left... At Little Caesars, that means you're usually left with just sauce and crust.
This looks like... Oh, I see. The stuffed crust is pepperoni and mozzarella in the crust. So if you don't like pepperoni, you're not getting around this. It's actually stuffed in. I didn't know that. It's in the crust itself.
I didn't know, but they have the extra most bestest pizza is what one of the things they have.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize one of the things that makes that extra most bestest that's not the same as their regular pizza is not only does it have mozzarella, it also has Munster cheese, which sounds like a really weird choice for a pizza. So I don't know. I'm not so sure.
So
does it work at Little Caesars though? Does it?
Remember the price, you go in, you don't care.
Well, this one is $10 also. So you're paying an extra $5 over the regular hot and ready so that you can get it stuffed with all that extra pepperoni and Munster.
If anybody tries it, let us know. It's up to you guys. Okay. It's the hot and ready from 4 to 8 and it has pepperoni and cheese stuffed inside the crust and it's $10.
You can plan ahead for that one.
Now, I would just cause you, just a warning that I have seen other more local, more premium pizza places, and they've been doing the large for $10 deal.
They've been doing specials.
So I think you guys should know that we could shop around
and
get a better price.
If you want a stuffed crust, I think Papa John's and Pizza Hut offer that, and a few other places. Yeah. And it's not that much more than $10. It's a couple. Don't get me wrong. It's probably $12, $13.
If you like the flavor, then it's okay.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.